In October 1973, 23-year-old Douglas Brick, a promising physics student at the University of Utah, vanished without a trace. A National Merit Letter winner and respected campus leader, Brick stepped out of his dormitory on October 12 and was never seen alive again. His disappearance would remain a tragic mystery for over 5 decades, until an extraordinary breakthrough in late 2024 brought the case to a haunting close. Hometown papers in Pocatello, Idaho, described Douglas as kind, studious, and deeply loved by family. At university, he was a member of the Boys' Council, Key Club, and German Club. Yet in the weeks leading up to his disappearance, friends noticed he seemed quiet, withdrawn, and possibly overwhelmed. Some whispered that he suffered from depression, though few took it seriously. After leaving his dorm, packing up his belongings and making no effort to contact friends or family, Douglas disappeared. The university issued reports, local authorities searched the foothills, and attempts were made to reconstruct his last moments. But with missing records, conflicting witness statements, and a lack of solid leads, the case quietly went cold. Over the years, rumors circulated. Did Douglas hitchhike to Ogden and vanish intentionally? Had he fled abroad or started a new life? Without definitive evidence, each theory led nowhere. His mother, Donna, lived her remaining years unsure if her son was lost, alive, or worse. She died in 2010, carrying her grief in a private journal that noted an eerie prediction by a Salt Lake City psychic who claimed Douglas might have fallen down the snowy slopes near campus. Most dismissed it as fantasy, but as events unfolded decades later, those words would echo with chilling accuracy. In 2022, University of Utah police, working with a crime data analyst named Nicole Mitchell, rediscovered that Brick's file had vanished from records. Mitchell flagged the case, prompting Major Heather Sturzenegger and Detective John Dial to reopen investigations. They tracked down Brick's sister in California and obtained her DNA via cheek swab, though initial checks revealed no immediate match in national systems. The breakthrough came when Sturzenegger randomly met Brick's former roommate, now Dr. Steve Warren, during a doctor's appointment conversation. Warren had been the one who initially reported Brick missing in 1973 and urged investigators to revisit search zones in the foothills. Renewed searches in 2024 focused precisely there. In October 2024, 2 hikers discovered weathered skull fragments near the summit of Black Mountain, within the area initially searched, but decades earlier. Specimens were sent to a forensic DNA lab and matched Brick's sibling with 99.9% accuracy. For his family, it was devastating, but it also finally offered closure. Brick was no longer simply missing. Despite the DNA match, investigators still do not know how Douglas died. Autopsy reports noted no major trauma, leaving his death consistent with a fall or accident, yet suicide remains unconfirmed. The psychic's vision, recounted by Brick's mother back in the 1990s, suggested that Douglas intended to end his life, lost his nerve, and then slipped off the trail in the dark. Major Sturzenegger has said the terrain was steep, slippery, and disorienting, even for seasoned search parties. Detective Dial described a strong personal connection to the case and a haunting sense that Douglas's presence had lingered in searches and journal reflections. Lost records and forgotten trails. Brick's disappearance fell into a bureaucratic time warp. For years, law enforcement had no file, no witness contacts, and incomplete maps. Reopening the case relied less on breakthrough evidence than on reconnecting the dots, like that chance roommate conversation. Mental health and isolation. Though never confirmed, Douglas's reported depression and silence before vanishing raised questions about university support, mental health awareness, and how quietly some students suffer. Scientific closure after 5 decades, DNA confirmation gave the family certainty. While painful, reaffirming that Brick died near campus, and not halfway across the world, ends decades of painful speculation. The role of intuition and psychic reports. Though controversial, the psychic prediction may have played a symbolic role in guiding searchers back to the foothills. Police have downplayed it in official reports, but investigators acknowledge it influenced their instincts, and ultimately led to renewed focus on Black Mountain. Brick's family expressed profound relief, calling the DNA match nothing short of a miracle. They requested privacy following the confirmation but noted that even though questions remain, knowing where Douglas is, and that he wasn't deliberately erased, brings essential peace. The University of Utah has announced plans to return to the discovery site to conduct more thorough searches this spring and summer. Investigators hope that recovering additional remains or items may clarify how Douglas died, and possibly confirm or rule out suspected suicidal intent. 1. Cold cases can be resolved with perseverance. Even after 50 years, cases can be cracked when someone reopens a file, connects with forgotten witnesses, and applies modern DNA tools. 2. Mental health crises deserve serious attention. Douglas's disappearance underscores how depression can silence individuals, and how small choices or missteps in mountainous terrain can become final. 3. Closure isn't the end. For families left behind, knowing what happened doesn't erase grief. But for the Brick family, this answer transforms an endless wait into a final chapter, a painful one, but real.